Are you ready for this?
No.
I mean, that's a lot of parts. So, do you understand to make this easier?
No. I would say the last time I got spoiled this hard was you taking me to Disney.
Good point. I mean, it costs about the same.
Like, would buying the BTS tickets be would
No,
that
not
count?
really. No, that's not spoiling. Okay, that lighting.
Because I'd say that was the last time I was spoiled that hard, was buying myself the BTS tickets, although that got canceled.
Yeah, my family doesn't like it. We're gonna correct that a little bit.
I'm convinced that the pandemic was just to ruin my ability to see concerts.
All right.
We had 2 concerts scheduled, 2 very expensive, very big concerts.
One of them's not canceled yet.
And I've never been able to go to like real concerts. And I had 2 like stadium concerts scheduled. Pandemic.
Okay, let's not get so depressed in our
Too late.
Hello and welcome to a new PC build. Today, we're gonna be upgrading GamerGuts' computer. Now, this crappy computer decided to continue to have problems after we worked on it and tried to make it work better. We mitigated some of them, but it still seems to have some, and I do believe that some of them might actually be related to the GPU that's kinda old in there.
It crashed 20 minutes ago.
Yes. So, it's time for a new computer, and luckily, well, just so happens today, the last parts came in. So, what are you going to be using this computer for? Because I know, but let our audience know.
Everything. Overwatch.
Overwatch, alright. So, GamerGuts, as you might know her, especially if you are part of the first 100 people who subscribe to this YouTube channel, has honestly been one of the hardest working individuals I know. And this is something that she wouldn't buy herself.
I try.
Because, unfortunately, she will use a computer half broken if it works a little bit. She will use something until it doesn't work at all. And unfortunately for us,
If I can edit a video and set it to render and have it render for 24 hours, then it works.
yeah, we're gonna fix that. So we're gonna be upgrading her computer completely with a pretty much brand new one. The only thing we're reusing from her old one is her power supply and those 2 hard drives that are in this system, just to make your life a little bit easier. But we are gonna be reinstalling Windows on this. And the reason for that is SSD will beat any mechanical drive any day when it comes to Windows operation. So, what do we got going in this thing? Well, we got a Ryzen 2700X. This is my old processor. It is Old Faithful, and it will honestly kick butt when it comes to gaming and for rendering. We're gonna be using an MSI X470 Gaming Pro Carbon motherboard, which is going to pair very nicely with our case, which we custom modded with a red and carbon fiber theme. It looks amazing. Complementing that case and the motherboard are these custom sleeved cables. Now, these custom sleeved cables, I actually purchased them directly from one of the OEMs that like Asia Horse and all those other companies buy from. Turns out you can buy from them directly, especially during a pandemic when they can't sell their product. So, these are actually interesting because I didn't know they were going to be so shiny, but it works out perfectly for this build. Speaking of the aforementioned SSD, we actually have a Samsung 860 EVO. This thing is going to be blazing fast and should actually improve boot times pretty drastically over the existing spinning drives. The only reason that we didn't put this in when we were working on our PC before was because I intended to build this after getting a good look at the inside of her PC and why it needed to not be. Now, this one is a bit of a wild card. This is a brand that I've heard about for years. Jelly has been around since I've been building PCs, but I really have not bought any of their RAM. They actually had very much like Corsair Vengeance looking RAM when I first saw them. This is a very unique dim stick. It's actually massive, and honestly, it probably will look pretty good once it's lit up, and it works with our MSI motherboard, so I'm enthusiastic about that. We've also got plenty of Noctua cooling. We've got Noctua fans, and we've got a Nactua Chromax NH-U12S. Man, that's a catchy name that rolls right off the tongue. And then finally for our GPU, now this is going to be the one part that I know is going to be a bit contested. You see, I could have gone with a 580 and I could have spent $200 and it probably would have been enough. I could have gone with an RX 5600 XT and that probably would have been enough. But because GamerGuts watches enough Netflix that it crashes her computer on such a regular basis, I figured the easiest way to not have this problem is to actually go with an RTX 2060. That's right, we're putting in a NVIDIA GPU and a PC build. A first for this channel. All right, that is all of our parts. I guess the next thing to do is just build a PC. So, so much rainbow. as you can see, guys, she is built and honestly pretty good looking. I didn't know about this RAM. I've never used this RAM company, but it looks really good. In fact, actually, it's very comparable to the Trident Z's in its appearance. In fact, actually, I think this diffusion in this one's a little bit better. But these RAM modules are chunky. The Noctua cooler, pretty quiet. Actually, all of our Noctua fans are running very quiet actually in the system. The system has actually been up for a little bit now so that we could get drivers and all that stuff installed. Essentially, it looks like it's running great, but I gotta let GamerGuts install her stuff so that we can truly see it. I mean, I can run some stress tests without her, but it got so late that she needed to go to bed. So, essentially, PC build done.
I got this. Now I'm taller.
Let's just lower the camera a little bit.
Nope, perfect.
Okay, so we finished the PC. It's running. It had some difficulties, mainly being just my own and being extremely tired. But it's a pretty simple, pretty much classic PC build. It's all air cooled. It's in a pretty standard case. There's anything too weird. The RAM was a bit odd because it is the chunkiest RAM I've ever used. Like the actual module is like this thick, which is fairly unusual. So you may, if you want to use this RAM, need to check CPU cooler clearance. Other than that though, it seems to be running pretty well, and I'm gonna hand it off to GamerGuts, who's been using it for the last bit of time. I think the only game you've played on it is Minecraft.
Fair.
Which with a Ryzen 2700X and a GTX 2060, you're not gonna have much problems. I've told her she needs to try Minecraft with ray tracing, but she's like, no. Classic Minecraft all the way, Java edition. Originally, I wasn't even going to be putting any NVIDIA parts into her PC, but with AMD's driver issues kind of persisting throughout the last few months, I mean, we've got fixes that work, but I'd be taking a gamble on somebody else's computer when realistically I had the money to just spend the extra little bit. Instead of going with a 5600 XT, I went with the 2060, as I got it pretty much at the same price, and it was before all the GPUs were sold out, because right now we're in the middle of a total parts drought, which is very weird because we thought it was going to happen months ago, but now it's happening. So
now I have something to blame for all of my issues. Oh yeah, my favorite thing I've blamed NVIDIA for was dropping a stitch in my knitting. While watching Netflix, it's great.
Okay. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, leave a like on it, comment, subscribe. We do content like this every single week now. So yeah, thank you guys again. Wolfie and GamerGuts is already back at her computer. Out.